don't care because this room is a pain in the ass, and I'll be here all day if I don't do it this way. Wow, you did not have a good day, Sparky. Well then. So it was actually kind of interesting. I didn't even think about this when I made the when I decided who was what character, but you could kind of compare this guy and his buddy Benny to the way Sooo Fast is with Grease Lightning. Or was, before he became what he is now. And of course, what that did to Grease Lightning is the reason why Sooo Fast joined in the first place. During Burning Rubber, Sooo Fast came and took Grease Lightning and did what he did to him that made him act the way he is, and Sooo Fast wants to get revenge on that, so he tries to, joins and reforms this group to, defeat him. In this case, obviously, Benny gets shot with a weapon, and Mr. Grimm is here trying to they're trying to get revenge against the guy that made him basically go cannibalistic against his war partner. So in this case, that isn't that wouldn't necessarily be the war advisor. That would be closer to the guy that shot him. I don't know whether I could avoid that one either. Oh, that's a lot of damage. No, I didn't enjoy that. I think I have enough fighter missiles. What do you think? I am armed right now. Oh my god. Come on, that. What you gonna do? Ugh. Dead. Stupid tree. Oh, you're too close, you're too close, you're too close, I'm leaving. Ah! I tried to predict. You can't predict stupidity! By your head! Stop! Ah! Oh, my battery's full. A high burn. Nailed it. Well, I would say this map went incredibly well. Huh. Yeah, go over there, have fun with that. Oh, hi, Danny. Danny got confused that it was Bastion. That doesn't even happen in this timeline. Or this, universe. first. Boy, you're done. Have some missiles. You have this. Boom. Well. Ow. Oh, crap. He's trying so hard to hit me. Ow. I was too close. Ow. I could care less about the lightning hitting me. I care more about the lightning hitting my ears. Ow. Boom. Oh, stop. Oh, hi, Otto. No more sun. Hi, Alex. Bye, Alex. Someone didn't read the loading screen tip. Because while it is usually just copy-paste in a lot of these stages, at least in this case, it's actually helpful. Especially in this case, because Grim is actually descriptive about it. I missed. I did not get that disc! By Hypermite. Oh, I'm in the end. I need healing. Where are your ears? Great. Ow, that was even worse. Ow, I'm being comboed. Help. No, I need to drive better. Oh, that killed. Okay. Didn't think that Bedlam would die from that. He was at like half, and he just died. Yay! Insert yodeling here. I like how I noticed that most characters are like, if I win, then I finally get it. This guy's just like, you think you'll recognize me? He's like already accepted, yep, I win, but how good is it going to do when I do? Oh, hi Otto again. I think Otto's been in every single round. It seems like there is always at least one character that appears in each race, each match, or race. Get that disc! No, the working ball. It hit Otto and did nothing. Oh, just spamming mines. This isn't Minecraft or Minesweeper. There's a path here? I forgot about this. That is very rude. I can't. I don't think I have a hitbox big enough to grab that without falling off. Behind that. This literally parks off to the side and just kind of waits. No, I'm good. Oh. Thank you, guys. Here, this is full. I will not bother. Here, can you like calm yourself? Stop. Ow. Eh. Well, Gearhead's almost dead, but I have no weapons to kill him. So the stupid aircraft seat just flipped me over. Can I hit it? No, it's not. Oh! Get! Oh, God. Did not expect that to land anywhere near him, but it bounced off the wall brilliantly. Oh, that didn't actually come in on me. That was almost long enough to die from it if it was. Alright, that worked. Hello, Chopper. They just crash. What are you doing? What? Ow. Stupid light post. Where did this helipad? Those helicopters that fly around are really tiny. Good shooting, Dex. No, fire bad. Go away. Darn it. Ow. Burn, where are you going? The level is over here. Buy that. Take it to the future. Darn it! How'd he miss? How'd you miss? It was 3 feet in front of you. I could have sworn I killed Ryan, but I guess not. Now I did. Finish him. And myself, I guess. Unless Danny got off on something. That was like my first death, too. Why did they come at the skyscraper? It was like the 3rd easiest stage, assuming you know how to drive. Someone killed him. Otto killed himself. And now it's just me versus Alex. Oh my god, into the floor. Alex, you've been motorcycle rammed. I can't imagine that feels good.
You're in violation of Midtown City Code 4432. Step out of your vehicle and surrender peacefully. Time.
Time. Time. Sanctuary. Pick. Yeah, we get it. You have Mrs. Warhawk. Message. Mildly distracting. Luckily, this isn't exactly a taxi activity. There's no way I'm gonna pull off. Or just wait, I guess. That also works fine. Oh, that wasn't... Wasn't up, I disagree. Here we go. This is gonna take like 20 minutes to actually go to the helipad so we can actually just get this over with. It's obnoxious. Rock has gotten progressively more obnoxious over the course of the series. He hasn't gotten more difficult, he's just gotten more annoying by just being spastic. But he's dead for the last time, so it doesn't really matter.
I'd done it. The battle was over. I'd won the contest. I went to see Calypso. Turns out he was a man of his word. He told me it was time for a reunion. After all these years, the advisor looked exactly the same. He didn't know who I was, but I recognized him. I'd been seeing his face in my nightmares for 30 years. Calypso had one more special prize for me. Dinner for one. 30 years is a long time to be locked away. You get kinda tired of asylum food. But after all this time, something new was on the menu. As much as I hated to admit it, over the years I developed a special craving for human flesh.
Guy doesn't even look Vietnamese. Alright, so yeah, that is... Unfortunately, there's no real climax to this game sometimes. So you can actually look at all the movies, the individual finishing. They make them look like they make them look like movie posters or something. This isn't the final video I'll be doing either. There is one more video to do. So, yeah, this has been, and it's definitely been a twist. Of course, now with this over with, pretty much, I'll be getting back into regular U0 uploads. So, I can't get a train of thought going. I'm relatively pleased with how this kind of all went. I kind of wish I was good enough to play the game on medium or hard, like most normal people would, but I just can't. I mean, I have moments of skill, like the prison passage, I did that pretty well, minus the cheat code at the start, which probably would have made the round go in a completely different direction than the way it did, but I don't know. Anyway, I would, if there were a simpler way to do it, show off the two bosses done normally, but I can't even guarantee you that I'll even be able to finish them with any vehicle. Oh, hello, demo. Forgot about you already. There's a mouse in my house. I just saw him in the other room walking across the floor. Hi, 16 Angels, so I guess we'll just let the demo play. Out of cog. As we just kind of awkwardly stare at each other. Danny, how fitting him appear, and anyway. If only the AI functioned like this when I was in the match, because then it would be a little more entertaining, because they would be killing each other, but then at the same time it would also be really easy. This is kind of something to question about 16 Angels. So it's assumed that it's his dad's cab that's being played as. But where did the big block and the machine gun come from? Did the kid put those on there? Because I have a hard time believing that, unless Calypso modified the car to be, you know, compatible. Which I guess would probably make a lot of sense, because basically all of these cars are kind of a little bit like that. Except for, like, Mr. Grimm. But every other car in the game has kind of got, like, battle fortifications done to, like, the bumpers and such. Although I don't know what a bumper guard would do against a missile, but... Like, good shield. Like, who... How did the machine guns even get there? I would just have to assume Calypso put them there. Because in most cases, I don't think any of these characters really have any kind of experience with armaments. Outlaw, maybe. Other than that, though. I mean, I guess Axel, maybe, since he did build his car. He built that machine. And I guess he just maybe found some machine guns and strapped them on there? Yeah, as far as the things remain to show off, no, of course I did mention you can play as Minion. He does have a story, but he doesn't have any cutscenes, and all that there actually is the, oh, I can actually show you what is there. And I guess I'll just get this out of the way now. But, yeah, it doesn't really tell you much, does it? So this special is just sort of like the same thing you have in the boss. It'll just roast things on a 3 rotational axis. Game can barely handle me destroying Governor. Just there. The game says it's as slow as manslaughter, but it really feels faster than him, and even faster than like the likes of Darkside or Junkyard Dog. It seems like this would be like 5 or 6 out of 10 speed, not 3. Granted, it's not like I can really have a drag race with manslaughter, but I don't know if the AI is full throttle, but I'm definitely catching manslaughter. I can feel the lack of turning, for sure, but I cannot feel the lack of speed. And I believe you get far enough away. Yeah, it starts throwing fireballs instead of as well as the flamethrower. Yeah, there's no cutscenes in here. So I'll probably just do this match and end the video. The only thing I haven't really shown is there are multiplayer. There's 2-player. I think there's 4-player, but I don't have 3 friends that play this game. Or I do, I just don't have them here at my house because I don't know anybody that plays Twisted Metal personally because it's well, it's not obscure, it's just not really an accessible game. I mean, I'm not even that good at it, as you can see me totally miss. But this game is no Battlefield or Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a niche, and it was less so a niche in like 1995, 96. It is definitely a niche nowadays. And a lot of the games that are car combat other than Twisted Metal are Vigilante 8 or they're shameless, usually not very good games that have very little depth to them at all. I'm also about to get destroyed here because I'm not paying any attention to the game. Let me not be an idiot and let me actually win the match with the, like, boss car that can barely fit on the recharge station. Give me that. Whenever this thing starts going, it sounds like I'm sneezing. Achoo! Bye, Ryan. So it's from school bus. It fits the archetype of a bus. How tiny the disc is compared to the truck. I think you just ran into me and then died. Missile. And there we go. So yeah, that is... I guess that was the only other thing I had to show off was Minion. And I didn't plan on doing the story mode for him. I guess I could quickly look up while the game is loading and such what it is he's saying. Because that is code for something. Looking at Facebook Messenger. See, a guy I talked to on Messenger is describing how he just killed a spider and it multiplied. He kills one spider and 3 more run out of nowhere. And he literally is out of his house. And as an arachnophobe, I can kind of agree. Yeah, screw him. This is taking a minute. I should probably not be on the screen. Because it's gonna go to demo mode on me. Why'd I go into that one, though? I don't know. No, I did not want twisted ETA. I wanted twisted metal. Stupid fingers. I don't remember the site that I used to find it in the first place, so I'm having to go into a YouTube video to find this stuff. Okay, so here's the code, or here's what he says in those two different levels. I do not think this is real. I must speak in code or he will discover me. We are trapped in his head. This is how he sees the world, how Sweet Tooth sees his life. It isn't real. All of us are trapped in his head. I miss the old colorful world. We will return to our old world one day. In the real world, my name is Marcus Kane. So, essentially what's being hinted at here is that this is a game that's in Sweet Tooth's head. His dark, twisted mind has come up with these much darker alternatives to the regular Twisted Metal storylines, where even the police officers compete for their own wishes. Historically, Outlaw would be an actual police officer, and they would compete in the hopes of, you know, arresting Calypso. And of course, it backfires. But in this game, Outlaw doesn't do that. Other characters in other cars have tried that before. There's a government agent in a Twisted Metal head-on who drives a car called Crimson Fury. I really wish that were in this game because it's a red sports car, and that would have been perfect for Alex, but it's not here. It appeared in 1 and head-on in the 2012 version, but it didn't appear here, or in 2, or 3, or 4. It wasn't Small Brawl, but I don't even know. Some people don't even count that, just because of the drastic difference in theme. But anyway, and yeah, in Twisted Metal head-on, Crimson Fury, it's like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini usually, something similar to that extent. The government agent actually does arrest Calypso with the FBI as assistants. And no one else ever does that. But, so, you're probably thinking too, Marcus Kane, that's the kid who drives Yellow Jacket. And yeah, that is him. Figure it's all in his head. In Sweet Tooth's head, his brother fears him. In reality, he opposes him. Charlie Kane and son, but his name is Marcus. Sweet Tooth's real name is actually Marcus Kane, or Needles Kane, not Marcus. And, what's interesting, though, they have this whole mythology behind the Kane family. Almost like the Wayne family of Batman. So, Twisted Metal 1, we have Sweet Tooth. I don't even remember what any of that game is. Twisted Metal 2 either, for that matter. Or any of them. Any of the first 4. Well, no, Twisted Metal 3 is still Needles Kane, but Twisted Metal 3 is downplayed for humor, and therefore, instead of actually something psychotic, he wants to eat all the ice cream in the world. And then he gets brain freeze and a stomachache. Twisted Metal 3 was kind of a disappointment in every regard other than they had a Dodge Viper as Spectre. Yeah, the Asylum doesn't even know his name. It's only mentioned in Head On and the older games that it's Needles Kane. In other games, Marcus Kane drives Roadkill usually, not Minion or Yellow Jacket in either case, which kind of makes it weird in that sense. But the reason why he's in Yellow Jacket is a reference to Twisted Metal 1, where Charlie Kane ran in Twisted Metal 1 because he was trying to reverse the aging process. He didn't have much life left in him, and he was trying to win the contest to get a way to stop aging. I don't remember how that went. I want to say that the thing he took just killed him. Basically, I guess the idea of, well, you can't age if you're dead. Yeah, in this game you had a few characters who had positives, like, you know, Junkyard Dog, Crazy 8, such and such, where they actually got, you know, a thorough fulfillment of their wish and bonus. Which I think is supposed to be kind of like akin to Sweet Tooth's jealousy, that Calypso can just screw with people the way he does. And then this is the first game that kind of does away with that entirely, because it's like, oh, punish the ones that try and, you know, fulfill the contest for nefarious purposes, and punish the ones who are doing it for, like, you know, good purpose. Just like in any other game where there's been voice acting, Calypso has spoken. Not in this one. He doesn't talk, but in the original live-action clips recorded for Twisted Metal 1, he spoke. Both characters spoke. Head On, they both talk, and Twisted Metal 2012, anyone talks. Twisted Metal 2, I believe, yeah, Twisted Metal 2 had stop-motion pictures, stop-motion cutscenes, and on that game as well, Calypso was they both had voice acting. Both characters talked. Interesting fact as well, and I didn't actually know this until relatively recently. Also in Twisted Metal Head On, and this car only ever appeared in Twisted Metal 2 and Head On, there is Grasshopper, basically a little tiny dune buggy, driven by Krista Sparks, which is allegedly Calypso's daughter. So the storyline behind this, so basically what happened, Calypso has no remaining family left, because a few years ago they got in a car accident, and this killed his wife and daughter, but Calypso made a deal with the devil. At the cost of he would he would gain powers from the devil that would allow him to survive the crash, but he has to use those powers for pure evil. He can't use them for anything else. And so therefore he starts Twisted Metal, so that he can use it to gain his own enjoyment and the devil, and then at the same time, you know, afterwards still use his powers for evil, because he can grant wishes, but he has to grant negative ones, or he can't, you know, he can't outright help people. I guess the exception to this, and I guess also you can make the argument if it is in Sweet Tooth's head, figure mark, Minion only says, "I do not think this is real." He doesn't, I don't think he outright says it is. Not real. But anyway, but eventually, Twisted Metal 2, you meet Krista, who was rebuilt by the government and brought back to life as an AI with a bomb in her head, so that when she hugs Calypso, it gets triggered. Well, it does that, and Calypso survives, but his daughter is dead for good. Twisted Metal Head On. It's her ghost. Her spirit is driving Grasshopper. And she enters the contest wishing to be brought back to life. And this kind of happens. I'm not fully clued in, having not played the first 4 games very much. As to the entirety of the story, I'm just giving you what I know. But what is interesting too about this Krista Sparks character, not only does that become Dollface in Twisted Metal 2012, but in Twisted Metal Head On, Krista herself is voiced by Tara Strong. And if you don't know who that is, I don't know how you wouldn't. So, that's one of those names any 90s kid should know. Or anyone even close to that, for that matter, should know. Just like Tom Kenny. Unfortunately, I cannot correspond that with anything that comes in my other series, which involve any of the several characters that she's played. It would be perfectly ideal if I could manage to get a blue dune buggy in something, but it's not the case. Not in the game I'm planning on playing anyway. Ironically enough, Powerpuff Girls drive dune buggies in Cartoon Network's like Mario Kart ripoff. But other than that, there's no real way I can correspond to that. Because Bubbles doesn't really... There's no Dune Buggy in Velocity X. So... Or... Really, other than Turbo Racing, there isn't one to speak of at all. And ironically enough, Rockbuster said Dune Buggy that is in Turbo Racing is actually planned to be Bubbles' car. So I did correspond it somewhere, just not in the best way possible. Because yes, I do have a plan on doing Turbo Racing at some point. So essentially, this will end up being the last video of the series, so yeah, this is going to be it for the Velocity War Precursor. And like I said before, Universe 0 will be going back to normal. At least relatively frequent uploads of the last 3-ish acts that I'm doing of that series. Act 20 will be a bit longer than the other 2, and then 17 is currently. I think there's 2 episodes left in 17. It must be on race 10 of 15. Could be 10 of 12 either. I don't remember how many I put it on. And then 18 is a team thing. I'm making extra sure of that. 19, my plan is, drivers will have multiple of the same car, which is kind of rare, until, other than Act 11. That hasn't been done before. Other than 3 Powerpuff Girls always having KTM crossbows when applicable, which, those are pretty close to Dune Buggies, as close as I can get. But even at the time, that wasn't intentional, nor was me putting down bubbles as rock busters. So, yeah, I guess it just kind of dune buggies are just a universal application to the Powerpuff Girls. And it makes sense, but if you really look into how dune buggies are usually treated in games as kind of versatile, tougher than they look type things, good speed, good maneuverability, dune buggies are generally pretty well-rounded cars if you're given the option to drive one. It shows in Turbo Racing. Rockbuster has pretty good speed and handling. It's not very tough, nor is Grasshopper and Twisted Metal 2 or head-on either. And it rotates pretty fast. Rockbuster, I would probably say, is one of the high-tier cars in Turbo Racing besides the Twin Mills, Power Pipes, and Jet Threat. Those are the best cars, in my opinion, in that game. Well, Twin Mill isn't an opinion, that's just a fact. Those are the best cars. If you can actually put up with the low stunt ratings, Hot Wheels 500 is also technically up there, but it doesn't really have anything to say over Twin Mill and what it is capable of. Go-Kart isn't the best, it's just kind of one of the funniest to drive. It has a niche where it is the best, but it is, for the sake of what the game requires you to do, it isn't. It does have the best handling as well, which helps, but it also has like the third lowest speed. Being a go-kart, you can kind of come to expect that. But it's not even the slowest. I don't remember which cars are slower, but I just remember it's the third slowest. But anyway, so yeah, finish up Universe 0. 18 is teams, 19 is, I don't know what 3 cars, because it's gonna be 3 cars, it's gonna be 5 of each. What 3 vehicles will be used. And then the last one is just gonna be kind of randomized. Wait, I'm on 16, aren't I? I have 17 to start still, so never mind. That's how out of the loop I am with Universe 0. I don't remember what act I'm on anymore, but I would know once I logged onto the game again. And, but yeah, unfortunately, once I finish Universe 0, I have no other plans of any kind of series for Hot Wheels, or anything based around it. I guess I could theoretically just keep doing Universe 0 until I get the means to record other consoles. Strange many transitions. Anyway, so yeah, that is essentially it for the Velocity Wars. Universe 0 Act 20. I think it might just be same characters as Act 1 with just new cars, kind of like what I did with ended up doing like Act 7 or 8. I think had that kind of idea. Somewhere in there I'll try and get a co-commentator as well. I wanted to get one for this, but me and my buddy never got aligned schedules with which to do that. And well, then as soon as I can get a capture card at my disposal, I will start immediately, or at least as soon as I can figure it out how to get it started, on Velocity X.